All right, so let's continue our discussion on point slope form. This time, what we will be working on is how to write an equation in point slope form, and this time we're given a graph and there are 2 points that are available on the graph. So if you can see here, we have a line and it has 2 defined points, 1, 4 and -2 and -3. How can we write our point slope form? Okay, so definitely from the name point slope, we have points that we can use. Any of them could be used. So what we need is to first find our slope. Okay, so step number 1, find the slope. And again, what is the formula for the slope? Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So it doesn't matter which point you want to declare as point 1, point 2, as long as you are consistent putting in the values for our formula. Okay, so let me just use the top one as y sub 2. This is point number 2 and this is point number 1. So we will have 4 minus -3 all over 1 minus -2. All right, and as we know, when we are subtracting integers, we will have to change the sign of the second numbers and then we add. So this will now be plus 3. Okay, so negative and -3, that's positive 3. So this will be 4 plus 3, and on this side it will become 1 plus 2, and so we will have a slope of 7 over 2. Okay, so we already have a slope. Now remember, our point slope form is y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. All right, so we already have our slope. We have x1, x sub 1 and y sub 1. Again, any of these 2 points. So we can plug in the values already. Okay, so let's use 1 and 4 as our x1 and y sub 1. So we will have y minus 4 is equal to the slope, which is 7 over 2 times x minus 1. So this is the equation that we can use to represent the equation of the graph of this line here on the right. Okay, so here in this scenario, what we have is we have a table of values. We do not have our graph anymore, but this time we are given a table of values, and what we need is to write an equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, so it is important that we use our our slope-intercept form when we write the equation. Okay, so what can we do to get this started? First thing we need to do is find a slope. Okay, so step number 1, find a slope. Okay, and what do you need to find a slope? You just need 2 points. Now, since you are given a table of values, these are ordered pairs. These are points if you graph them. Okay, so let's use the first 2 ordered pairs. Okay, so this is going to be our point 2 and this is our point 1. So we will have 590 minus 640 divided by 30 minus 10. All right, and so what you will have here, 590 minus 640, that's going to be -50. All right, and then 30 minus 10, that's going to be 20, and so what you get will be a -2.5. Okay, that is our slope. Okay, now that we have our slope, do we have an intercept? We are not seeing any x value that is 0, and so for the meantime, what we can do is to write in point slope form. Okay, so using our point slope form, we can have an equation that will be y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1, correct? So our point 1 is 10 and 640. So we have y minus 640 is equal to our slope, which is -2.5, x minus our x value, which is 10. Okay, now The nice thing about the different equations of the line, whether it's a point slope form, whether it's a slope intercept form, or even a standard form, which we will talk about later on, is that all of them are the same. They are just written in different ways. Now, if you would remember, the slope intercept form has a pattern, okay? Your pattern for it is y equals mx plus b. So you would see that y needs to be by itself. And looking at our PSF, our point slope form, can you see that y is by itself? No. All right. So what we can do is we can simplify our point slope form, okay? So we need to get this simplified. All right. So the first thing that you can do is you can distribute first your slope. So you will have y minus 640 is equal to negative 2.5x, and a negative 2.5 times negative 10, that will become plus 25. All right. And then again, from the slope intercept form, we need to have y by itself. So what we do is we isolate our y. And so we will add 640 on both sides. You add 640 on this side. And so now our equation will now be negative 2.5x plus 665. And does this look like our slope intercept form? Definitely. You have y equals our slope, which is negative 2.5x, and our y-intercept now is 665. So this is now our slope-intercept form. So again, what you need is to use what existing equation, whatever you are given, whether you're given a table, a graph, and if it's restricting you to write in a specific form, whether it's point slope or slope intercept form, all you need to do is in this case you needed to write it in slope intercept form. Slope intercept form is your simplified form. Okay, so do whatever you know about simplifying expressions, and so that's how you can change from point slope form to slope intercept form. Okay, so why don't you try this next example on your own? Go ahead. So again, following the procedures, first we find the slope. It ends up to be 1250. And then what we are given are points, several points. So we can use the point slope form to write an equation of the line. So we use 2, 3, 320 as our point of reference. So we will distribute 1250 to x and negative 2, and it will end up to be 1250x minus 2500, and we need to isolate y, and so we add 320 on both sides, and all in the end it will be y is equal to 1250x plus 820. Okay, so this is the slope intercept form. Okay, this is the slope intercept form. And again, remember, slope intercept form, you simply simplify your point slope form. This is the point slope form, so just be flexible as to what Math Excel would like you to write. Is it in point slope form or is it in slope intercept form? Okay. So to summarize, you can use the slope of a line and any point on the line to write and graph the equation of a line. Thank you.